Hi, Tom Hope with Glen Greenwich Community and Social Change Radio. Um, we are here today to discuss colleges as a community. Over the past few weeks, we've heard a lot about colleges and demonstrations and the police moving in to break up the demonstrators. But colleges are part of the community. We all live with learning through life and we learn through others. This is the same thing that's happening on universities. Now, we're faced with a problem because people are encamping, stressing their viewpoints in opposition to the administration of many colleges. They're doing this basically because they are trying to have the college disinvest from a financial goal. That's what the struggle is about, despite what we're hearing from mass media that tries to make the sound otherwise.
Well, Tom, you brought up the point earlier. It makes a difference if it's a private institution or a public institution. Say some more about that.
Well, we have a situation where we gather at the college to learn.
Right.
Now, people are spending dollars to be there at college.
Hmm.
This is a public institution, even though the administrators would like to say this is private.
Right.
If this is public, what right does the administration have to call the police in to stop conversations that are happening? Would they do that in the classroom?
Well, Tom, I think one of the things that has been missing, as you said, conversation. Community engagement. I may not agree with you, but I at least want to be able or be allowed to hear your side and you to hear my side so that we can either agree to disagree, or there may be some valid points that you bring up that I hadn't thought about, and that might either soften or change my position. With these encampments, I think that people are there's no engagement. There's no dialogue that's being happening. You know, what's that phrase? A man is not an island. No, they're not. And so you want to get influence and ideas outside of your own body of experience. And this is a great opportunity to do that.
This is the goal of education. This is the goal of learning through life. So, why do we shut this down by calling the police in?
Yeah.
Um, does this only start because the head of Columbia goes to Congress and is mortified by the way she's attacked by congressional people who declare the protesters to be a threat? Is it a threat for us to talk the way you're mentioning, to question things? I mean, if that's the case, isn't education a threat?
Absolutely. And that's the strangest thing about it. I think that we have become a society where we're oversensitive to opinions that are not our own, and we've lost the tolerance that is provided by uh, community change, community engagement, the kinds of things that are occurring all the time. You know, communities are being impacted by gentrification, having conversations of both sides of the conversation. The colleges are demanding that their administrators divest from certain alliances. Um, one might say, well, that is is the, and I think you said it earlier, is the investment more important than the educational um, possibility of the institution? Um,
The colleges are investing a lot of money into the military machine
yes,
that is sending armaments to Israel. Now, the college campuses are objecting to this. Now, are we going to stop the objection because we need investment dollars to keep the college afloat? Because if that's the case, we're saying that the colleges exist more as a financial institution than one of education.
that's a scary thought, isn't it? When you consider, what are we selling? What is being what's the overall communication? What is the change that is asking to be had by the students and by administration? You know, and when did we stop having open conversations and resort to violence, encampments, um, and the threat of violence, as opposed to just sitting down and hashing it out?
If we talk about violence, there's another type of violence. How about the military industrial complex? We have investment dollars focused on sending armaments that are very violent. Now, we have a situation where it's more important to protect those armament sales rather than work with students. So we call the police in. Not only do we call the police in, but our connections with the corporate media show the public who is not following everything that it's the protesters who are the ones being violent.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not the actual case, though. If we look into this, we find out the students are victims of the anti-protest groups. But that's not being shown by the corporate media. So we have the corporate media working with the military industrial complex, working with financial administrators of colleges to shut down any conversation.
yeah. And I think that that's part of the shutdown that the presidents were getting when they went to Congress, because um, I know President Biden has talked about withholding some of those arms, and some of the members of Congress have been very upset about it and pointing to, well, Israel should have the right to defend itself. But are they really about Israel, or are they really about the arms companies supplying them with campaign dollars that they're concerned with? And I think that that's not being publicized by the news media as well. So there are multiple layers of this conversation that are happening. We've got the administrators at the colleges, we've got the students, we've got Congress, who is getting paid by the military complex. And so you've got all of those things, and then you throw in the humanitarian uh, uh, viewpoint of the crisis, and then you've got another couple sides of the conversation that are now um, facing off. So this is this is not a singular conversation. What we were talking about earlier, VUCA, the volatility, the change, the things that are occurring so rapidly, and all of these layers are coming into play. And we're not getting the coverage to understand that or to disseminate the differences.
Well, it's not just haphazard. A lot of this is being orchestrated. We can see this by the way the corporate media works with financial firms. We can see this by the way this is all part of the military-industrial complex. So part is haphazard, but the biggest haphazard part is the fact that the public, who isn't following everything at every stage, isn't as aware as they should be. They're being misled.
Yeah, yeah. So, anything that you would like to say in closing?
Um, I think we have to be aware that at the basis of this, when we say that Israel has the right to protect itself, Israel does have the right to protect itself, but that's not the real issue.
Right.
It's not the case of Israel fighting another country or group of countries. This is a case of a criminal action by a group called Hamas. You don't go after criminals by bombing entire cities, destroying hospitals, targeting journalists, targeting ambulances. And that's what Israel's been doing.
Right. Right. So the thing for me is that this is a much deeper conversation than the the Reds against the Blues, or it's a multifaceted conversation, and it needs a complex problem or solution to fix the complex problem. And I think that the media has dummied it down to one side versus the other on a simplified matter, and I think it's much deeper than that.
Well, just to make a comparison, we have the idea that we have to retrieve the hostages from Hamas. And in order to do that, we have to wipe out an entire group of people with hospitals. This is very similar to an idea where in a medical situation, you have a small scar on your leg and a doctor decides, let's amputate the leg.
Whole leg.
You go after the scar.
Yeah, yes.
You don't go after
The whole
a
leg.
part of the body.
Well, we are here, community and social change. We're looking for your feedback, for your opinion, for your comments. And you can find us where, Tom?
That's Community and Social Change on Facebook or YouTube. Let us know what you think. And activists who are out there, give us your thoughts. What should we have added? Let us know what you think.
And don't forget to like us and subscribe. Thank you.